Okay, so let's start our first big project. So up until this point we've learned loads about HTML, we've learned loads about CSS, but it all kind of means nothing until you put it together in a project. So we're going to spend this lesson planning out a 4-page website, and that's going to be your mission. You're going to create a 4-page website all about you, okay? So it's going to be like a digital portfolio. You can explain or express your interests, what you've done in the past, things that you've done. Be careful about the things that you share online. That's one thing I would say. So don't share your home address. Try to cover up your email address best as possible, and even think about the pictures that you use. So that's one thing that I would express, that when you are creating web projects, you do have to be careful about the information you're sharing, because this is going to be your digital portfolio. So you will need to share some stuff, but then you need to kind of make sure the personal stuff is kept personal. So let's have a look at this. How I like to start planning websites is I use PowerPoint. So PowerPoint is a really powerful thing because you can mock it all up in there, and you can also export grouped images as one individual image to use straight into your website, which makes it really easy to design and implement. So we're going to use PowerPoint. We're going to create 4 pages. Your pages must be well designed, okay? So you're only going to get one lesson on this. 4 pages, well designed, and let's just crack through that. So here we go. The first thing I'd like you to do is have a little cleanup. So at the moment, this is our project, and it's getting a bit messy, I've got to be honest. So what I want you to do is create a new folder. So right click and say new folder, and let's call it demos. Okay, demos. And let's put everything that we're no longer using into that folder. Okay, so this is our new planning folder. I've just created that, so we still need that. But all of these things here can go straight into the demo. So there's code in there that you're probably going to want to use later, and this images folder needs to go in there as well. We're going to create a new images folder in just a second. Yeah, so you'll be able to use your demos folder, so you can come into here and you can pull out all the snippets from previous lessons and use them. That's absolutely fine. But for now, I just want to keep it clean so that when we create our website, we can use this space again. Okay. So let's go ahead of time and let's just create another images folder. Actually, let's undo that train of thought. Let's cut this and just use this one. Let's keep it really simple. So if you moved it into there, don't do that. Cut it and then paste it back into this area here. Okay, so let's just keep that images folder. Let's just use one. In the past, I've had students create hundreds of images folder and they just get so confused. So let's just have one images folder, and we're going to use that. Now inside of my planning document is where I'm going to put my PowerPoint, and I've already dropped in a few images here. So now we've moved all these. If you come back to Notepad++, you'll notice you get these error messages. It's because we moved stuff, okay? So we just need to close everything out. So let's come into here and let's just close it. Say no, and just close it out. So when the message comes, say no, don't say yes, otherwise it will save a new version. Now for this lesson, we're not using Notepad, so we can close Notepad completely. You're going to want to close the layouts you've got open in Chrome as well, because they will no longer work. When you refresh it, it will just give you an error message. So we can close that out as well. Now we're creating a website, and the first thing that I do is look at other websites, look at what other people are designing. So here's one of the websites that I visit quite frequently, blender.org. It's a 3D programming bit of kit. It's really cool and it's open source. But look what they've got here. They've got a logo here on the left hand side. They've got their navigation, pretty much like the one we created in the last lesson. And then they've got this big banner here. It's called a hero banner. And it's basically the area that they want you to see the most. And I love this approach. The way that they just have a look at the hero banner, click on it, work through our site. Then they've got a place where you can download their software. And then you've got their blog and some more blog stuff. And then you've got some other stuff that says basically this is what you can do. So you've got a title, you've got a bit of text on the left, you've got an image on the right, and then it's reverse. So you've got an image on the left, text on the right, big title first, so H tag, followed by some paragraph tag. Plus you've got these lovely images. So each section is separated by these images as well. So if you scroll down a bit further, actually it's just one, you can see these rotating images. So I'm going to try, for my website, I'm going to try and create something similar to this actually. I quite like this. I like the way it's laid out, and I'm going to copy a few of the elements on this and the design. Another one I quite like are these kind of blog style ones where you've got these big banners at the top, so the logo becomes a big banner. and you've got all their news feed and dates and things like that, and you've got their navigation and drop down menus, which are really cool. We're not going to go into drop down menus because we're only creating a 4-page website. We're going to kind of leave that well alone. But then you've got these lovely layouts where you've got these rotating images. You've got the blog posts. You've got a sidebar here. So this would be your main section, and this is your sidebar. And this is quite a common layout. So you might find that this is quite nice to do as well. So let's crack on. Let's actually create our first site. So we need to go and open PowerPoint. Once you open PowerPoint, you're going to want to click on the blank template. Do not use any of these kind of ones here. It seems like, hey, why wouldn't I use it? They already look great. And the reason you wouldn't use it is because exporting these images when you're finished is actually quite difficult. Whereas if you use a blank one and you import all your own text and all your own design, you can actually take it out as images really, really easily. So we're going to double click on the blank and we're going to delete anything that's in there. Now I need 4 pages. So over on this side here, we're just going to say new slide, and I'm just going to create 4 slides that are exactly the same. So what I like to do also is they've got these presenter notes at the bottom. If you pull these open, you can actually label it. So this is going to be my home page, and you can put any relevant notes down here. It's a really cool way of working actually. This is going to be my about page. This next one is going to be my contact page. I can't remember what my final page was. Oh no, let's call it hobbies. Okay, so now I've got it clearly marked out, and as I work through, I can see which ones I'm working on. Now, the first thing I do is get rid of all of this junk. Okay, I do not want any of this stuff. None of it's any good to me. I don't want it. I don't need it, so on and so forth. So make sure you've got 4 blank pages. Now the next thing is these are the wrong size. We need something that looks like a web page. So what we're going to do is going to come into design. Now pause the video now if you haven't just done all that and catch up, okay? Because this bit gets a bit technical. Okay, so come into the design tab, work your way along to where it says slide size. From here, go to the custom slide size, and we're going to try and make it similar to a website. Now, Microsoft PowerPoint works in centimeters, but it does convert to pixels if you tell it to. So the width, I want to be 1200 px. So if you type px at the end, it will do the conversion. So when I press enter, or when I click off of this, it will convert it to centimeters, but it does the conversion for you, so everything's kind of relevant. It's a little bit more difficult to work like this, but this is the only time that it will really matter. So click off of this and go to height, and you can see the conversion's been done for us there. And let's do the same here. Now I want to go something like 2000 pixels. Now the thing about the height is it can grow, okay? So go as big as you can. You don't have to fill the whole thing, but when you're building a website, it can grow to that size. So when we click off of it, it's got our 2000 there and our 1200 centimeters there. So when I press OK, you can say either, because we've got no content, it's not going to make any difference with either of these, okay? So I'm just going to say maximum, just because it's easy. Now you can see it's scaled in to 35%, and I can bring it right up to my 1200 width, okay? Or you can just go in. Now your mission here is to design your page. So we can use all the tools inside of PowerPoint to make this happen. We can use text boxes, we can use shapes, we can use images. So I'm just going to start designing my first page, and then you guys can just kind of carry on with that thing. Before you start designing your page, I would definitely say to you guys is go onto the internet and have a look at different websites that you're interested in and see if you can't recreate some of their elements, okay? And once again, you can have PowerPoint and the website side by side so you can see what you're doing. Okay, so I'm just going to blanket this out in color at the minute, but you can just use whatever you want. So let's use the insert tab and let's go to shape. The first shape is a rectangle, and I'm just going to basically say, right, this is going to be my navigation area. Fantastic. I'm just kind of telling it, right, I want a navigation there. I also want a logo. So if I grab another shape, go back to design, go back to insert, and I'm just going to grab a circle, and this is going to be my kind of, I don't know, it's going to be some kind of logo. I haven't designed a logo yet. There's plenty of logo designing software out there that can help you with that. Now let's insert a text box this time, and I'm just going to draw out the text box for my navigation. So I'm going to say home. Now the next one I want is about. Now the button next to the FN key or the cap lock key allows you to do this straight line, which is, you see this sometimes in navigations. Untap me. Oh, I didn't do the other one in uppercase. Let's just change the about. I'm deliberately doing them in uppercase, so you can do yours however you want. And then let's just put my hobbies one in. The order kind of does matter. It's not a great order here, but it will do. So once you've got that, because we're working in PowerPoint, and I can zoom back into this now because I can't really see what I'm doing. Because you're working in PowerPoint, you can just move it around. Now, this area here, I'm just literally kind of making it up just because I want to see what it could look like. I can use these background colors. I can kind of copy these out. There are different ways of going in and looking at different colors, and you should be able to convert them. So here it gives us the RGB colors, and you might be able to get the hex as well. Now it doesn't look like you can get the hex, but you can get the RGB colors if you wish to use these exact colors in your actual design. Now you may just be easier. Oops, you might find it easier just to go to you might find it easier just go online and use a color picker as well. So let me just see if we can do that, because sometimes you can grab a color and copy it over. Eyedropper, let's see if we can do that. So if I use the eyedropper tool and go over it, no, that's unfortunate. Some tools, they do allow you to use the eyedropper tool to actually select the colors, but this one doesn't. That's a shame. Never mind. Let's move on. So I've got that. Now I want to include my hero image. So if I go back over to this planning folder, and I've got some images here. So let's try this background one. You can just drag it on and you're good to go. Drag it up to the top so that it's in the right place. And that happened because I dragged it in from the bottom, but never mind. You can also change the order. So if you want it to look, so like I want this logo to kind of come over the top of that. So what I'm going to do is right click and center back. And there you go, you got that. And because it's PowerPoint, I can also use text over the top of that. So I can say, go back to insert, another text box, visit my site. And we can use all the tools available to us. So let's make it bigger, lots bigger. And we want to change the color to white. And we want to change the font to Arial. And then we probably want to move it around. And if you want this as a header, you can use it as a header text, and you can put some subtext underneath it or whatever. And this is the way you move forward. You design your site inside of this. So for instance, when you want to get it out, if you group these elements together, so I've clicked on this background image, I've held down my shift key and selected this as well. And when you right click, you can tell it to group it. Now I've just unselected that. So let's try it again. Right click and group. Now when you group it, you can actually make that into an image. So when you right click again and you say, right, save as picture, it will save the background image and the text as one, which is, you know, say for instance you wanted to make a collage, you could make your collage inside of PowerPoint, and then you could export it like this. So you go save as picture, you go to where you've saved it. So if you go this PC, you guys will have it in documents. I've got it in desktop at the minute. And then I've got it in my web design project, and it's currently in my planning document. But because I intend to use this for my actual site, I'm going to save it in my images folder, and I'm going to call it Hero 1, and it's a PNG. Not that matters at the minute. And there's also a space there, but let's get rid of the space because that will matter. Press OK. So now when I come back to my images folder, hopefully, all being well, you should see that I now have an image that I've just created with that text. And imagine how much time that's going to save you guys. This is where I'm going to leave you guys. So I'm going to let you guys kind of carry on with this and start building your site. So what I want for your extension task is 4 pages, fully built, fully designed, with all of your content. So you're building it about you. So spend a bit of time, think about the content you want to include for your site, things that you might be interested, like maybe you're interested in science, maybe you have a science page, or maybe you're interested in sports, you have a sports page of you doing loads of activities, or maybe you're interested in orienteering or maths or English or whatever you're interested in. You can include those pages, okay? And make it vibrant, make it exciting, make it something that people want to read. I always think about newspaper layouts, and when someone wants to capture my attention, they've got these really nice big slogans like, hey, I'm a superstar, look what I've done. You know, that's what I want from you guys. You're a superstar. Tell people about yourselves, make these lovely pages that are exciting and engaging, and I'll see you in the next video.